In my hand, I have $400 worth of wedges. There's only 2 wedges, so that's $200 a wedge.
And in my hand, I also have only 2 wedges, but I have $156 worth of wedges, less than half the price. I have a Takomo $100 wedge and a Kirkland $56 wedge. Today, we're gonna show you and tell you if expensive wedges are worth the money. How the heck did I end up holding the budget wedges? I hate budget.
I just know you're after a dime. You're trying to save a dime out here.
No.
So here we have the brand new released Opus SP. There's also the SP Plus.
Yep.
Which we don't have that model yet. That one's brand spanking new too. And new as of last month, the SM11. 2 of the hottest wedges in the market right now.
Sexiest wedges.
I mean, especially you go WedgeWorks, you can really customize this thing. Trevor's got his gamer SM11 from WedgeWorks.
Raw, embers only. I mean, if you trick this baby out, this can be like $300 some. I have the Takomo SF002. Pretty
002.
simple, full face grooves. Simple wedge. Kirkland, even simpler, milled face grooves. Honestly, I think out of the 2, the Kirkland looks more attractive.
I like the way the Kirkland looks.
Let's hit them. Let's talk some differences. How important is it to spend good money on wedges? There's so many lines of thought here. It's like hard to keep our trains of thought organized. On one hand, next to a putter, there's nothing you hit more than your wedges.
Yeah.
So if you're gonna invest money, it should be on wedges.
Because what do you warm up with? What do you work with before the round? Every time.
The other hand, the fastest club in your bag to wear out, which is the club you should replace the most, but we see replaced the least, are wedges.
Your wedges.
So should you spend a lot of money on wedges when you should be replacing them quite frequently based on the wear pattern? The technology in wedges clearly doesn't make as big of a difference as like the technology in drivers. Fitter told me you need to treat your wedges like college girlfriends. They stick around for a season or 2, then it's time to move on.
I didn't go to college. What does that mean?
I think you can figure out the rest.
Okay. Kirkland Signature looks awfully like a lambkin that Takomo uses. Kirkland, greens at 100 yards.
First off, as a single digit handicap, what are you looking for in a wedge?
I need to have good spin. I can kind of flight a ball. I'm really only hitting a wedge like this. 10,000's coming back. I love that, especially with a 56.
I think we'll establish pretty quickly that all the brands have good grooves out the gate.
Yeah.
They're gonna spin. I don't think you're gonna see spin as an issue regardless of the money spent. But they could wear out quicker. Here's the thing, and this is what drives me crazy, and this is why I'm so, and I don't mean this in a pretentious way, but I'm so anti-budget products. May I say why? Because that's gonna irritate a lot of people. Like, I'm anti-budget. It's gonna irritate Alex, and he's sitting right here next to me. Alex is pro-budget, but he also appreciates finer things.
I like nice stuff.
And
I like saving money though.
But I want to know your take on this. To me, if it's less money, there's a reason why. I'm getting duped out of something. Not duped, but I'm getting skimped on something.
Whether that's service.
It can never be. It's just the price. Is the only place I'm getting the corner cut.
Okay, so what corners could you be getting cut?
Mass production, discrepancies in weighting, grinds, bounces,
Service options. You buy a
customer
wedge
service,
from Kirkland, you take it back to Costco. Who's going to help you with that?
Technology. Or we're going to get into technology.
Yeah. If I go into Costco right now to the customer service desk and I'm like, this doesn't feel like a 56 wedge, I have some discrepancies, they're going to give me my money back, no questions asked, first of all, because that's
Actually,
Costco's
that's
way.
a good point. So you're going to get the customer service.
But that person behind that counter is not going to have any idea what I'm holding in my hand.
No, but you're going to get a full refund. Okay, but let's take wedges out of the equation for a second. I want to go back to Alex on this. Is that a universal truth, or do you think sometimes you just actually shortcut a dollar?
No, I think a lot of times what you're missing out on with the budget product is like their marketing budget. Like, it's cheaper because they don't need to spend so much money on advertising. So like, I don't care if Takomo doesn't have ads at the waste management tournament when there's tailor-made ads plastered everywhere.
But you don't think it's cheaper because the product's inferior?
Usually not. I don't think I have that mindset.
What about in certain other industries?
Camera gear, for example, like there's definitely a relationship between like the amount of money you spend and the quality you get, but...
What about, you came from the car industry, what about cars? Yes and no?
Yes and no. I think there's a ton of great like budget cars and budget motorcycles out there that are way better than the more premium options.
And you think that same thing can be true in golf clubs?
Probably, yeah.
I knew what Alex's mindset was, Tate?
Before you ask the question.
He has access to test out anything outside. Anything in this room, Alex has the ability to take out on the golf course.
And he knows we wouldn't care.
And one day we were playing with him, and guess what I saw him testing? A Takomo wedge.
It's that wedge.
It's this exact
I just
wedge.
pulled it out of my bag.
He's still, it's his gamer now. It's not even he's testing it. This is his gamer.
And so I think there's different personalities that are like this is cheaper, and I bet you it's just as good, and I want to test that theory. They're almost excited to prove that it is as good and it can be cheaper.
I can soar it over the green with any wedge you put in my hand.
All right, I moved on to the Takomo SF002.
Wedges are tough because I just don't think you're going to see, until we get into the more refined, more sophisticated player, you're not going to see a huge difference. They're all going to spin. They're all going to loft. They're all going to perform. You can chip with all of them.
The Takomo feels better than the Kirkland.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm always suspicious of stuff that's cheaper. I always feel like I'm getting gypped on something. Like they cut a corner somewhere, and I'm paying the price for it by not paying the price. If that makes any sense.
I like this wedge, man. Feels good. All right, you're up.
At address, I don't like it. I don't like the looks of it. Or the full face grooves. Something about these full face grooves irritate me.
That's why I put it in my bag.
You like the full face
I
grooves?
thought it looked sweet.
So that's the shot you were just talking about, Alex. You could execute that shot regardless of the club.
With any wedge, that shot can show up.
Mm-hmm.
It feels good. Doesn't feel bad. Can't hit it very far at all.
How's your spin number?
They're good. Just can't hit them today. Okay, so for real, let's talk about some issues that you might miss out on with a budget model.
Yeah. Quality control is my biggest thing.
Quality control, variances in weighting, which again, not going to bother an amateur player. So
Right.
your 56 could be 5 grams off from your 60 or whatever. If you're an amateur, not very good at golf, even me, I probably wouldn't even notice that. I say even me, like I'm an elite player. You're going to have very, very limited grind options for people that don't know.
You have two with Takomo.
But for people that don't know, what is a grind? It's literally the shape
Literally the
that
grind.
this sole is ground down onto. So this is almost like a C grind here. Now,
That's
so you
big
can
for
have
turf
toe and
interaction.
heel relief for manipulating the face open, things like that. And then the bounce. So that's how much bounce this has. And bounce is literally the way it's going to bounce off of the turf. So higher bounces have more bounce. So they're going to kind of skid
Instead of digging.
instead of grabbing. So higher bounces usually work better in like softer conditions versus a low bounce is going to dig and grab. You have less options usually with budget models. So if you're new at it, you're not going to care, right? And if your grooves wear out by the time you get better, no harm, right?
Yep.
So I think if you're a beginner golfer, these make a lot of sense.
Okay, Alex, these are all 56s. So we got 3 that are the exact same length and 1 that is about...
No, this Kirkland's longer. Barely.
That might be the butt of the grip.
Yeah.
The Takomo is a quarter to a half inch shorter, somewhere in between that. That's what we're talking about with quality control. 56s should all be about the same length.
This is a good looking wedge.
It
This
looks better.
Definitely much more attractive at address. Spins good. What I'm getting at is if you're a beginner player, I think if there's a category where you're not going to notice any difference, it's going to be wedges. Even a player who's not very good could probably notice the difference between nicer irons
Yes.
or a nicer driver.
Yeah.
But wedges, probably not.
No. As you get better, you might.
So I think budget wedges are really good for beginners. Really, really good, especially while you're figuring stuff out. And if you're on a limited budget, you're not quite ready to spend $4 grand on a full bag.
Especially Kirkland. I mean, what was it, Alex? $170? You get your gap wedge, your 56, your sand wedge, and your lob wedge for the less than the price of one Vokey.
I like this Kirkland better.
And then you can return them 3 years later when the grooves wear out.
Yeah.
Actually, you can.
And you know what? Kirkland will give you your money back.
Kind of like I read last year about this lady. Post Christmas, her Christmas tree was dead. Returned it to Costco
And they took it.
because it died, even though it was sawed off.
It was chopped down.
It was chopped down, but because it was brown, they literally gave her money back. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, my buddy moved to LA last summer and he lived here in Denver for like 8 years, returned his mattress and his gas generator after like 8 years of use, moved to LA and then bought a new one when he got to Costco
For the same
in LA.
price.
Yep.
I was doing this was years ago. I was doing research on mattresses. Costco had this one brand, but it was like Costco.com only. It wasn't in store. And we slept on it, same thing, for like 3 or 4 years. And my wife Chelsea's like, Costco returns anything. I'm like, they're not gonna return like a 4-year-old mattress. There's no way. So I call them and I explain, well, we've never really liked it. I was honest. I wasn't trying to be sneaky at all. It's like, we bought this bed 3 or 4 years ago. I have my proof of receipt. We've never liked it. He's like, hey, hold on one second, sir. And he typed in and he's like, looks like you bought this on our website. And I was like, yeah. And he's like, unfortunately, you're not gonna be able to return this in the store. And I was like, I knew it. I knew that was a dumb phone call. And he's like, we're gonna have to come pick it up. If you wore out these grooves, that's probably true.
Is it the ethical thing to do?
Well, I was fully honest.
No, I mean with golf clubs. You got your use out of them. There's nothing left on the grooves. They're smooth faced. I don't know.
I got my use out of that mattress. But I said straightforward, this old, I don't like it anymore. Do I have an option to return it?
Yes, you do. We'll throw that away for you,
Is
sir.
that unethical in any way? That's their policy. That's their policy. So if you say I bought these 2 years ago and the grooves wore out, I fully expected them to wear out. However, they did wear out. Now, if you went in there and you presented it, your case, Tate, like you were upset they wore out, like that wasn't supposed to happen. Like what is this? I can't believe these wedges wore out. That would be different, right?
And they'd still take them back.
They still take it back, but you're presenting a different, untruthful case at that point.
It's not a you problem.
No, but
That's
saying
a Costco problem.
Is it unethical though if you went into Costco and then acted irritated that they wore out? That
Yes.
wouldn't be cool.
That's not cool. And then
That's
you
not
throw a
cool.
little tantrum.
That wouldn't be cool.
What about, I heard of somebody that ate half the rotisserie chicken
No, you did
and
not.
took it back. And
You're
they're
lying.
like, it wasn't the way I liked it. I mean, what's a rotisserie chicken at Costco? $4?
That's a lie. You
I
didn't
promise.
do that. I like the Kirkland wedge better than the.
See, I was
Takomo.
flipped. That's okay though. We can be different.
Can we get to my favorite clubs now? The more
You may.
expensive
Let's just
ones?
switch them over. Just keep rolling.
Okay. I really don't think it makes any sense for a player to start considering these until you start getting better at golf.
Or you
More
just,
expensive.
or if you just have the
money.
money.
If you have the money
and you don't
anyways.
care.
This is the brand new Opus Speed Pocket. So now we're getting into technology issues that are gonna make this club more expensive. So it's a forged face, casted body, and it actually has an empty, like hollow pocket. If you were to saw this
Like
in
a
half,
pocket, you
we'll
would
show
say.
you what it shows like on the internet. That's supposed to help with consistency with your flight, your ball flight. And then you could do the SP Plus, which is gonna have a piece of tungsten back here, which is gonna help with even more of a penetrating ball flight. These wedges are gonna have more technology in them. I don't think you're gonna start noticing that until you're a better player. When the way you're flighting your irons, or if you wanna hit a low one, wanna hit a high one, until you start getting more shots in your repertoire, you're not gonna notice that. And then we start to get into all kinds of different grinds and all kinds of different bounce options.
And those
so you have
combos,
a plethora of grind and bounce options that are gonna be specific to the player.
Here's the thing I will say about the Opus Platinum and the Opus Plus, the SP Plus, is if you struggle with your wedges and they are just going so high, like
Yeah.
we see with a lot of amateurs, that tungsten weighting really does knock that ball flight down.
So that was a terrible shot. I kind of nipped it, scolded it. It's a good result. Oh, that
just
it
disregarded
feels
what I
better.
said.
It definitely has got a little bit better feel to it. And you're not necessarily with wedges. We're not looking for them to be hotter or go
No.
faster. We're just at this point we care about super consistency. And we'd have to do a longevity test. Maybe there's people in the audience that can tell us. The technology in these groove patterns, they say they wear better.
Okay.
So they don't wear out as fast.
Okay.
Someone that's a Takomo or Kirkland owner, tell us in the comment section if you found that your wedges, the grooves wear out too quick. So now you want me to start trying to get into some flighted shots here?
Yeah, do your thing.
Some control. So if I wanted to hit something super low, kind of more of a knockdown. That was a little heavy. Let me try that again. See if I can just do a little more controllability here. So kind of flight it more at that pin.
I like it.
Or try something really high here. Yeah, see that? See, I feel like with these nicer wedges, you can kind of feel like you can do whatever you want with them. So Vokey time, these are the wedges I play. And the reason I play them is what I noticed. They also do a flighted CG. So depending on the wedge you're hitting, the center of gravity is different based on the wedge. That's gonna help with your flight consistency. So a lot of players are ballooning wedges or whatever. What I noticed when I took these out in the course with the SM10s and why I switched, everything, whether it was a miss hit or not, everything was pin high. So I've found that I had incredible consistency from a yardage standpoint, not a shot shape.
Directional or shape.
Or flight. That I was all over the board because of my terrible ball striking. But what I noticed is everything was always pin high. Nothing jumped and nothing was short unless I chunked it. I feel like I can set this green at 110 yards and I feel like no matter what I do, it's always gonna be pin high. Unless you fat it right out the gate. But even then.
109, 110 yards on the dot.
Little toey, little toe ball. Look at that.
Oh, it's going 90 yards.
Okay, that was a bad example. I tried to get too cute with it.
There
That's
you go.
110.
That's 110, easy money. Bounce hard.
Huh, and they feel a little bit softer. Vokey too has the most amount of, the absolute most amount of grind options.
Definitely feels phenomenal.
It definitely has a better feel than the two budget wedges, right?
Feels really good, yeah. Very attractive.
Callaway wedges have been kind of sneaking up the charts a little bit too, huh?
Yeah, the Opus last year was a really good wedge. That's all over it.
And wedges are such a feel thing. Like if it feels so much better.
Let's try low flighted. All right, let's try smooth high. Really good spin. Love that. Let's try the Vokey. Oopsies. All right, Vokey SM11s. I haven't hit these yet. That's the softest.
The Vokey is softer,
Yeah,
you think?
I think so.
See, I think the Vokeys are notoriously a little clickier. To me, it just became an issue of the yardage consistency more than anything. Once I saw consistent yardages, it was like, sign me up.
Feels good.
I'm not paying full price for wedges. I don't think I'd spend the money on wedge works. I know that. I would probably buy Vokeys, but I wouldn't spend the extra money on wedge works.
And I'm buying last year's.
SM10s.
Yeah.
Now that I will
SM10s now.
say, I see almost no difference between my SM10s and SM11s. Yeah.
Just peeled it off a little bit. Let's try that one more time. Did it again. It's a great club.
Now, in the defense of the Takomo, we didn't try that with the Takomo.
I did.
You tried everything.
Yeah.
Do you think this is more controllable?
Not necessarily, no.
No? All right.
But I think that's the hard thing is like even better players are so handsy with their wedges. So a lot of these manipulations, like a low flighted, I'm closing the face down. It's a lower, punchier shot coming in here.
Hands forward.
Yeah, so it's like there's so many things you do with your hands. Obviously the bounce and the grinds have a lot to do with the player and their natural swing and what you're using that club for. Like if a guy's getting a wedge and it's exclusively for bunker play, his bounce and grind option is gonna be different than if it's a guy that's using it for Bermuda, chipping around the greens in Florida. Okay, so let's look at some data here, Trev. This is a compilation of both of us. So ball flight, the Opus had the highest ball flight. Spins pretty neck and neck. The Vokey and the Opus are within 1 RPM of each other. 1 single RPM. The Kirkland had the most spin by 50 RPMs, and the Takomo had the worst spin by about 500 RPMs.
This is what I'm saying, like, is a lot of performance going to jump off the page to you between wedges? No.
No, I mean, look at the carry. Carry 96, 99, 96, 96.
It's such a
100,
feel
100,
thing.
101, 98.
My thing is I personally, this is my personal recommendation.
Do it.
A buyer of wedges,
Yeah.
here's what I would do.
Purchaser of a wedge, you might say.
Purchaser of a wedge, some would say. This is the way to do it. If you're a beginner,
Go ahead. Go ahead.
the value is definitely there from a Kirkland standpoint. Go get the 3-pack for Kirkland. Do it.
$56 a wedge.
Do it. Bypass the Takomo altogether because you're going to spend more on the Takomo, right?
Yeah.
So no sense in that.
Almost double the price.
No sense in that. As you get better and you want to take advantage of some of those technologies or grind and bounce options, but you still don't want to spend $200 a wedge, I think the sweet spot is in the spring, you buy the previous gen models at a discount.
Oh, yeah, there's a full staff bag of SM10s over there.
Yeah,
that
they're
just got netted
$50
down.
cheaper.
Yeah.
So that's the sweet spot, is buy the previous gen wedge at a much cheaper price while they're available. But to me, the Takomo kind of falls in no man's land. Like, it's
does.
more
It's like-
affordable, but it's certainly not a better product than the Kirkland wedge.
So let me
Right?
ask you this. How many guys, Alex excluded, are playing Takomo wedges with Mizuno irons? Or are the guys playing Takomo wedges playing Takomo irons?
Probably Takomo irons.
Yeah.
Alex, does my logic sound as a guy that likes the Takomo wedge, does that make sense to skip it?
Yeah, I think so. If you're
there's
going to go
stuff that's
budget, go with the Kirkland, save as much money as you can, and
And
otherwise...
return them and they're free.
Exactly.
They're literally half the price of the Takomo almost
Yeah.
at that point. So Alex, you're getting better at golf every season. At what point, again, assuming you had to pay retail, at what point would you consider a full price wedge? What would it have to take for you as a golfer to get there?
I mean, if I'm getting better at golf, my wedges are probably working. So I would just wait until they wear out.
That's a good point. If his scores are improving, it probably has a lot to do with his wedge play.
What if you don't need them? What if you're just GIRs all day?
See, now you're saving money.
Yeah.
You don't even buy wedges.
You don't even buy wedges. Don't have them.
Don't need them. Don't want them. I didn't even think about that.
In the comment section below, let us know at what point do you buy new wedges? If you're not buying them fast enough, if you're one of those guys that's just kind of letting that whole face go smooth, or if you're a guy that's upgrading your wedges once or twice a season. Because what's the tour pro guy? What's the tour guys? Obviously, they bang a lot of balls.
I almost wonder if the tour guys have separate practice wedges
I think from what I've heard,
and
it's
then
like
gamer wedges.
every third tournament they start fresh.
There's 3 or 4 wedges that I can put in the bag tomorrow. Opus would be one of them. Vokey would be one of them in Cleveland.
And Takomo. In the
Never.
comment section below, does Trevor need a full
Never.
bag of Tacomos?
Ever, ever. If Takomo called me tomorrow and said, we need all of your clubs in your bag and you'll never have to work a day again in your life, I'm out. I'm not doing it.
If they're like, Trevor, there's a foursome tomorrow. It's Grant Horvat, Wesley Bryan, and George Bryan, and you're their fourth. It's a full YouTube 18-hole match. You get a 20-stroke lead on these guys to start, but you have to have Takomo top to bottom. You're not even going to go play.
I don't know if I could beat them if I had my pick of my clubs.
George and Wesley and Grant, they're all probably going to be no less than 5 under to 5 over. That's probably their range. 20-stroke lead. You should be able to beat them.
Probably. But I mean, if you let me build my own clubs from scratch, I don't know if I can beat them.
Wesley, George, Grant. Just saying. There's an opportunity to play Trevor with Embers Golf.